My ex-wife and my daughter spent 4 years calling me a loser for being broke after the divorce. Now they beg to be family again after I became rich. My ex-wife Nadine and I divorced when our daughter Zoe was 13. Nadine initiated it. The marriage ended, and I got the worst end of everything. She kept the house because Zoe was in school. I got weekend custody, a support payment that took half my paycheck, and a 1-bedroom apartment 20 minutes away. I worked as an equipment operator at a paving company. Decent work, honest money, but after child support and rent, there wasn't much left. I drove an old Tacoma with a cracked windshield. My furniture was secondhand. I wasn't living badly. I was living within what I had. Nadine remarried a year later to a guy named Cliff, who sold insurance and made good money. Zoe got her own bathroom, a new laptop, a car on her 16th birthday. Cliff paid for everything. That's when Nadine started talking about me differently. She'd tell Zoe that Dad doesn't have the same resources. She'd say, "Your father does his best, but his best has a ceiling." Zoe repeated these to me word for word, not to be mean at first. She was a kid repeating what she heard, but between 14 and 16, the repeating turned into believing. The first time Zoe said something that cut me was the summer she turned 15. She was supposed to spend 2 weeks with me. I'd planned fishing, cooking together, a day trip to the coast. She showed up, looked around my apartment, and said, "Dad, why does it still look like this?" She said Cliff redid their basement, and it looked like a magazine. I told her my place was fine. She said, "I know, but it's kind of sad." That word hit different coming from my own kid. By 16, she started canceling weekends. The excuses got thinner, and the visits got shorter. When she came, she'd sit on my couch, look at her phone, and ask to be driven back early. I asked once if everything was okay between us. She said, "Dad, I love you, but I don't really like being here. It's depressing." I just drove her home. The worst came on Christmas. She was 17. I bought her a necklace, simple gold chain, small pendant, picked it carefully. She opened it at Nadine's house during the holiday exchange. Cliff had given her a new phone and a designer bag that morning. She opened mine, looked at it, and said, "Thanks, Dad." Then turned to Nadine, and in a voice she thought I couldn't hear, said, "This is so embarrassing." Nadine didn't correct her, just gave a tight little smile and looked at Cliff. I drove home and sat in the parking lot for a long time before going inside. After that, I stopped pushing. Still called, still texted, still showed up. But Zoe made it clear she didn't want to be around me. She told her friends I was broke. Told Nadine she wouldn't bring anyone to my apartment because it was humiliating. She was 17 and ashamed of me for not having enough money. I was never broke because I was lazy. I was broke because the divorce took everything, and I was rebuilding while paying support for a kid who couldn't stand to look at where I lived. The shift happened when Zoe was 18. A guy I'd worked with named Oren started a paving and excavation company and needed a partner who knew equipment. He offered me 30% ownership to run field operations. I put in every dollar I'd saved. Within 8 months, we landed a county contract worth more than I'd made in the last decade. Within a year, I was pulling in more than Cliff. I bought a house, not to show off. I wanted a yard and a kitchen with a window. Got a new truck. Put real furniture in every room. I didn't tell Nadine or Zoe. I didn't owe them a report on my finances. Nadine found out through Zoe's cousin who saw my new place. Suddenly things changed. She texted me for the first time in months. Not about Zoe.